Hey everybody, this is Max from maxstanselphotography.com. Today we're going to be talking about Lightroom and the map module. Uh, all these tutorials that I'm doing and trips that I do and different things that I put on my blog, you can find at maxstanselphotography.com and go to the blog tab, which is right up here. Go to the blog tab, click on that, and it'll take you right to it. Alrighty, let's get to Lightroom. All right, so we've been through the develop module and we've been through the library module. And the next up on tap is the map module. And this is a cool module. If you're a landscape photographer like me, sometimes you're out in the woods and you take pictures and you don't know where you're at. And if you wanted to go back to the exact same spot, it might be kind of hard to find. The map module can help you get back to that same spot or see how many pictures you've taken in a certain spot or lots of other different things. You can put the GPS coordinates on your photos, and it'll show you exactly where it was taken at. Okay, so let's go to the map module. So if I click on the map module, right now there goes a map, and I've got some photographs that are geotagged here. If I click on them, let's see, if I double click, the film strip will take me to where I'm at. So there we go. The film strip took me there. And I've got 12 photos here, and I can click through these photos, which is kind of cool. And when I click through them, over here we have all the metadata for them. And if you notice, they have the GPS coordinates in here. And over here we have a navigator tab here. And to move around in the map, you can either click and drag, which will move it around. You can scroll up or down with your mouse, depending on your mouse, to zoom in, zoom out. You can also use these buttons here, which is the minus and the plus button. So you can use those. Or you can come over here to the navigator screen. You can click on this box and you can move this box around. And when you let go, it'll go there. So, went too far. We get back up to where we were. There we are. So there we go. We've got some photos here that were geotagged previously, and if they're already geotagged, when you come into the map module, bang, they're going to be there. They're going to show you where they're at in the map. Let's see. I got some up here also. So here's 3 at the cabin we were at up in Maggie Valley last year. Let's see. You have different maps you can look at. You can have a regular road map, which will show you the road and the major highways, not all the little ones, but it'll show the major ones. You can go to a satellite view, which shows you the satellite view from way up in the stars there. Or you can get a hybrid view that's kind of a mix of the two. And I kind of like this terrain one. I do a lot of hiking, so I kind of do this terrain one. So I kind of like that. So let's talk about geotagging or putting GPS on your photographs. Now some cameras have GPS built into the cameras themselves, and when you take a picture, it automatically puts the GPS coordinates on it. Your iPhone does this. If you tell your iPhone to do that, it'll put the coordinates on there for you. Also, some other cameras are coming out now that have the GPS capability. A lot of the bigger cameras, the bigger professional cameras do not have this on there, but you can buy something to stick on there and it'll do GPS coordinates. It'll put the GPS on your photographs, but they're pretty expensive, and most of us don't have that. But most of us have a phone, and if you've got a phone, then you can download an app onto your phone, and there's all kinds of apps out there for track logs or making a track of where you've been, which is essentially just a breadcrumb. You turn it on, and every 10 seconds, a minute, or whatever, it takes a little snapshot and says, this is where I am. And before long, you've got a track of where you were at. So you can take a track and some photos, and you can match them up. Now, also, another thing about this, you can put photographs on here, or you can geotag them just by, if you know exactly where you were at, you can grab a photograph and let's see, let me find one here that has not been geotagged. Okay, this one right here. I know this was on the Parkway, which is right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There you go. This is the Blue Ridge Parkway running through here. I knew it was in here somewhere. And I'm just going to take this and plop it on there. And now this particular photograph, where it did not have GPS coordinates before, now do. So a lot of times you can do your own without any app or any device. Uh, and there you go. You can geotag them. Another cool thing about putting GPS, like me, I'm out in the woods a lot. Say I'm way over here somewhere in the woods. Well, I don't know exactly where I was at when I took the picture, but if I have some kind of GPS coordinates, it'll show me exactly where that was, which is very cool, especially if I want to go back and maybe I want to photograph it in the fall and then photograph it in the winter and then photograph it in the summer and the spring, you know, to get all the 4 seasons. It'd be nice to be able to get to the exact spot to be able to do that. You know, if you've got a cell phone and you've got a track log built on there or a GPS device where you can do that. I have a handheld. I do a lot of hiking, so I have a handheld device that I use. You can get and create track logs. Now I brought in, let's go back over to the library module real quick. I brought some photographs in. These 11 photographs right here. This is a trip I went to Grandfather Mountain. And you know, I didn't geotag when I haven't geotagged them yet. So we're going to go through the that process. Oops, clicked on the wrong button there. Let's get to the map module. Map module, there we go. So I've got a track log. I have already downloaded it onto my computer. And if you come to this little squiggly line here and click on it, it'll say load track log. So I'm going to click on it, and this takes me to where I have all my track logs at. And there's a GPX file, .gpx. And I'm going to double click on that one, and boom, it takes me and puts a track log in there. You can see it in the orange right here is that track log. So this is where I started from, and this is where it ended up at. It's right in here somewhere, or right up in here somewhere. So this is Grandfather Mountain. There goes Callaway Peak. And so all these photographs here, I want to get those geotagged. So to do that, I've got the first one highlighted. I'm going to go down to the end, hit my Shift key, and highlight all of them. And then I'm going to come here, and it'll say auto tag 11 selected photos. So I'm going to click on those, and boom, it puts all those photographs on here. Let's see, and if I click on here, there, it's saying I've got 3 of them right there in that spot. So that's 3 different views from that spot. If I click on these, it says I've got 2 here. And if I click on this one, which was my campsite, it says I got 1. And for some reason, it didn't geotag some of those other ones. Now, one thing about geotagging them this way, you have to make sure that your cameras are on the right time and your GPS, they're both synced up. They both have the exact same time. And that might be why some of these photographs did not geotag. Let's see. Well, maybe they did. So some of these did not, and the time must have been out of sync. But I know, let's see, if I got those 2 are there, I know this other one was there pretty close to. And so I know along this track somewhere that they're geotagged. So my camera must have not have had the right time on it, or it was off a little bit, because I know that this one was also right here. So it must have been at a different time. And so as long as, like when I was hiking along taking pictures and my camera and my GPS were synced up, then this would have worked. So I had a couple that were out of the timeline. Maybe I took them the next day or so because I hiked up this track and then I hiked back. But it's a very cool feature, and you can see where you took your photographs. You can geotag your photographs right there on the spot. Uh, you know, it's just a super great feature. So that's pretty much how I use the map module in Lightroom. And as your catalog gets bigger and you have more, maybe I may have come to this place a whole bunch of times, all those photographs will show up and you'll be able to see where you have been and what pictures you've taken there. So it's a great, cool feature. I hope you use it. If you want to know more info on it, there's lots of in-depth on how to use the map module. I was just giving a quick overview on how I use it and how I geotag stuff. So from Max Ansel Photography, this is Max, and we'll keep on shooting, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you much.